All right, Chelsea fans. So this is just a clip of our match review for Sheffield United. So if you want to watch the full or listen to the full episode, go to your podcast feed, Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to it. Hit it up. It's wonderful. We had Naz on. We talked about an amazing 4-1 victory over Sheffield. So get stuck in.
Absolutely got stuck in. Not physically, but with his passing, his control of the match, his dominance in possession was unbelievable. His creativity, unbelievable. His left foot is an absolute weapon. Opta Joe tweeting 6-2. No players created more chances in a Premier League game this season than Ziyech did this evening against Sheffield United. 6 chances created and 2 assists. He's superb. So Naz, I'll just kick it to you right now. Your thoughts on Ziyech against Sheffield United?
Yeah, it was obviously sensational. The eye test and the stats both prove it. Just looking at the game, if there's one man in the match, it's him, and it was like a no-brainer for the broadcasters to give him the award, getting to take it home and all that. But yeah, it was the one interesting thing about his performance was that he's been good in every game he's played for Chelsea, but in this one it was like that his delivery was even better, and he was on set pieces, whether it's a short corner or a direct free kick or whatever. There's a lot of good set piece takes at Chelsea, but he took a lot of the set pieces, got 2 goals from set pieces from him. So it was like the first game where we saw what Chelsea had bought here. We knew that there was going to be a new weapon at set pieces, and that's exactly what we've got. And now Chelsea have scored, I counted them up actually, over the course of the season, 6 goals in all competitions from set pieces. They've really become a dangerous weapon at that. Kurt Zouma, his bullet headers have been insane. He seems to win every header, doesn't he? But having somebody who can cross to somebody like that is essential. You need both parts of it to come together. So I don't think last season it really did. It was okay attacking set pieces, defending set pieces were poor, but now Ziyech can sort of pick that up. But really just a complete performance. I'm sure you guys will agree.
Oh, well, without a doubt.
Yeah, obviously, Naz, I agree. I can't say that Dan, on the other hand, though, is as full of praise.
Oh no, it's nothing but praise. I think what I really enjoyed about this performance, not just the way that he was interchanging with Reece, the way that he was passing the ball across the pitch at speed to Chilwell to get him open up, just was also the way that he fluctuated almost into kind of the 10 spot at times, the way that like the pitch kind of compressed is, he would kind of run into that more central location to try to kind of get Tammy involved, get Timo involved. He was really allowing everybody to use him as that backboard essentially to get the shot off and to rebound off of. And I think that spoke to me. Everyone was looking for him on the pitch, Nick. Everyone was kind of like, where is he so that I can get him the ball and he can make something happen?
I have so many thoughts about this. I think it's our single best performance of the year from any player. He has this look on his face most of the time that, to me, screams, everyone raise your game. Everyone needs to raise. Like, when Timo missed that little chip shot that he should have scored, and he will score 100 of those at Chelsea by the time he's done, the look that he got from Ziyech was not friendly. And it's like, I think it's again, all these guys that came in, I think, are winners, and Ziyech is chief among those. He just looks like a guy who wants everybody to step up. I could not love that enough. Like, I think that, at times we were missing a little bit of that killer mentality last year, and it cost us points. This year, I don't think we're going to be lacking for that from Timo or from Hakim Ziyech or any of these guys. I think then, if you move on to the actual play on the field, I mean, it was clear he was the guy that was going to make everything happen. And Tammy realized that early, got him the ball as much as he could. And I believe if you give Ziyech enough touches early, that he's just going to be a weapon the entire match. I think you've seen times where he's been a little bit isolated, Brandon, and didn't get into the game as quickly, and maybe didn't have the impact that he could have. I also think he's now fit. and if this is him fit, like we're gonna love this. I mean, this is crazy. So lots of things to praise him for. The last note I will make on him is the last pass of the game, that little audacious chip that he tried to put through for Tammy, was the single best pass that I've seen at Chelsea Football Club since Cesc Fabregas did the same for Schürrle in 2014. It was stupid talented. I genuinely don't understand the physics of taking the ball out of the air and just putting this light, delicate spin over the top. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, look, it's his left foot and his ability to create are fantastic. I did laugh, and I put in the Discord when he tried to step onto the back of a defender and pressure him, and he fell over. It's still not his best part of his game, but it doesn't matter because
that's not what we're paying him for.
Exactly. And I laughed. I said in Discord, I'm like, oh my gosh, Ziyech is so weak. But who cares? Because Reece was behind him, an absolute truck, and we had Sheffield pinned back, especially in the second half. Sheffield did not venture out of their half. They just tried to kill off the match, and the opposite happened. But do not forget that Hakim Ziyech deleted a defender yesterday. Completely gone. Pull back, went forward, just erased. We were now up a player.
That was right where I was sitting, and I was like, Reece James just did a few kick-ups before that, and then he played it off, and it's those relationships on the pitch that Frank's talking about, and that him and James. I think James has really grown from Ziyech's presence, and him playing on the right wing as well. I think that Chelsea don't really have as many natural right wingers as they do left wingers, so it's just a case of like Ziyech being really perfect fit in that role, but. Yeah, I think he's lifted so many players around him. I think that Chelsea have got better because he's in there, and like Sheffield United trying to sit deep off a team with Ziyech was like, I just felt like it was a matter of time in that second half before the goal was coming. They were just sitting deep, and it just gave him the chance to sort of play those beautiful balls in behind and do those far post crosses. And he can do it all, really. That pass for Tammy Abraham's goal where Mateo Kovacic played the cutback, that was the first goal. That was the most important goal of the match, probably, because Sheffield United had something to hang into. That pass was incredibly difficult, and Kovacic's pass was pretty difficult too. But the Ziyech pass was the real moment of quality in that goal. It was, to be involved in 3 of the 4 goals is insane, and they're just terrified of him, Sheffield United.
You watched this team a lot last year, Naz. How many times when a team did what Sheffield United did tactically yesterday, did it frustrate Chelsea to a point where we didn't score as many goals as we needed to because we gave up something stupid on the other end? Yesterday, it felt like this was a key to unlock the kind of back 10, the deep sitting midfield. The challenge with Sheffield too is they have natural width. This isn't a team that just condenses around the penalty area. I mean, they're already out there, so it's even more incumbent that he had to create space for a lot of other players on the Chelsea squad to do their thing. I was just thinking about it, like how many times you saw that last year, Naz, and like this was a whole different story.
Yeah, the low block's going to be a lot weaker against Chelsea now. I mean, and that's partly Ziyech, in open play, but in set pieces as well. He can create a chance at both moments, so really difficult. Whereas teams could just sort of sit in, win all the headers. Now they've got an increased level of crossing and also, from open play, a guy who likes to play in front of him. All right, you sit there, but he can shoot, he can cross, he can pick out the incredibly difficult pass that nobody else would even bother with, and crossfield balls, no problem. I think that, it's just tied it all together. It was a great performance. Maybe even having Kovacic on that side helped him as well, just having somebody who was a bit more defensively minded and could give him even more freedom.
Well, I enjoyed the fact that on Twitter they took the snapshot of Ziyech's free kick goal when he played for Ajax against Chelsea, and it looked exactly the same, except it was almost like someone photoshopped the Chelsea kit onto him, because it was the exact same look, the exact same hand in the air, and the exact same delivery for a goal. So that set piece thing is going to be really, really interesting as the season goes forward.
And he's adapted to the league quickly as well. Like, there's this stereotype really in English football. Don't know if you guys have come across it, but that Dutch players from the Dutch league don't really adapt quickly here. We've had some Matthijs Kesman for Chelsea. He was one of the bad examples, right? But we've had loads of good examples as well, like Ruud van Nistelrooy and stuff like that. So he's definitely, quickly fitting into a good example. I mean, his teammate who was probably almost as good as him at Ajax, Van der Beek, he's barely doing anything at Man United, whereas Ziyech just found it easy, and that's personality. And also the fact he's doing so well compared to, I'd even say Werner, who I do think is doing well, and Havertz, bit of a slow start, still done okay. But he's doing well because he's 27. He's he is ready. He's been ready for a long time. He should have been joining a big club a long time ago. Imagine all the teams that looked at Ziyech. You can imagine scouts looking at him thinking, finding question marks. How have they found a question mark over this guy? People have been doubting him, and now Chelsea are the team who gave him that chance, and Chelsea deserve it because some people in the football community must have doubted something about him. He sometimes had a bad reputation about his personality, but Frank certainly doesn't think anything's true. And I don't think it's true either from, my research that I've done. I think it's, lazy profiling of him. And I think he's got a great personality. Well,
look, if Hakim Ziyech can influence Reece James, the most quiet, calm, wears all black boots, like classic, he might as well have been playing 30 years ago, can get him to do keepy uppies down the pitch. And like that just shows you that they all look up to old man Hakim, 27. Like poor Arlo White, love him, was like, oh yeah, Hakim Ziyech, 27. Not really the profile Lampard normally signs, as if it's like a negative thing. I'm like, he's 27. He's got like 5 years left. He can be a leader in this team. You can't have all, young guns learning the trade, because to Nick's point, to Naz's point, he's got the look to say, nah, not acceptable. Like that needed to be finished. Last season, no one is going to hold them to that, right? And this season's completely different. It's saying, hey, like those are the differences and margins of winning, losing, getting silverware at the end of the season, coming up short consistently. And so, again, I think that is the big part of it.
Well, we talked about this all last year, too. Like, if we had converted more of the incredible amount of chances that we created last year, which, Chelsea created the second most chances in the league, and I think second most big chances as well. What does the season look like? It's probably a hell of a lot more comfortable than it was at the end. And, it's not a guarantee, obviously, but you could just kind of do some simple math there and figure it out. Like, we're all, Dan has talked every week on this winning streak since Man United, since we last talked to Naz. And it's like, we're outperforming XG. We're converting, more than 50% of our chances are on goal. We're shooting at goal more regularly, which is, I think, one of the maddening parts of last year. So all of this matters, but I would agree. I think that Ziyech is a stone cold killer. I just think he is. He has the look of a guy who demands more, and that is a good thing.